Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Mr. Chinjuri, and today, in continuation with the previous video, I've come up with another set of MCQ practice questions with solution for you. For those who aspire for NET, SET and other competitive exams. Friends, let's start with today's first question. The concept of status sequence was advocated by, the options are R.K. Merton, Max Weber, Ralph Linton, and Thacker Parson. And the correct option is A, that is R.K. Merton. According to Merton, when there is a set of status systematically ordered to prepare for a bigger status, it is called status set sequence. For example, a medical student becomes intern, then a residential doctor, and finally a specialist doctor. This different set of statuses constitute a status set sequence. Which is the famous work of Malinowski? The options are Trovian Islanders, Pattern Variables, Social Fact, and Bureaucracy. And the correct option is A, that is Trovian Islanders. Malinowski was an anthropologist whose writing on ethnographic, social theory, and field research are very popular. His ethnography of the Trovian Islands described the complex institution of the colouring and became functional for subsequent theories of reciprocity and exchange. He spent almost 2 years in the Trovian Islands off the east coast of New Guinea, doing the long-term fieldwork that was to revolutionize anthropological research methods. Next question. The term role distance was formulated by whom? The options are Herbert Spencer, Erving Goffman, Emile Durkheim, and Auguste Comte. And the correct option is B, that is Erving Goffman. By role distance, Goffman referred to the detachment of the performer from the role he or she is performing. This makes an important distinction between an existence of expectations concerning role performance of a role and individual's commitment to that role. Who advocated survival of the fittest? The options are Herbert Spencer, Charles Darwin, McIver and Page, and Malinowski. And the option is B, that is Charles Darwin. This phrase, that is the survival of the fittest, was originated by Darwinian evolutionary theory as a way of describing the mechanism of natural selection, and the biological concept of fitness is defined as reproductive success. In Darwinian term, the phrase is best understood as survival of the form that will leave the most copies of itself in successive generations. And Herbert Spencer used this phrase after reading Darwin's work, that is The Origin of Species, in his Principle of Biology in 1864, in which he drew parallel between his own economic theories and Darwin's biological ones. We move on with the next question, that is the term ethnocentrism was popularized by. The options are F. Giddens, Thacker Parson, W.G. Sumner, and Emile Durkheim. The correct option is C, that is W.G. Sumner, as the term ethnocentrism was first applied in the social science by Sumner in his book, which was published in 1906 with the title Folkways. And Sumner here describes ethnocentrism as the technical name for the view of things in which one's own group is the center of everything and all other are scaled and rated with reference to it. And he further characterized ethnocentrism as often leading to pride, vanity, the belief in one's own group's superiority, and contempt for outside. We move on to the next question, that is, a folk-urban continuum is the concept by, the options are Comte, C.H. Cooley, G.H. Mead, and Robert Redfield. And the correct option is D, that is Robert Redfield. This rural-urban continuum is a concept related to the transition from the rural to the urban societies, investigation of the social, cultural, and economic characteristics of individuals and societies, allowing them to be positioned at different points along an evolutionary path. And Redfield developed this theory in 1956 to account for the differences between folk society and urban societies. Next, the concept of marginal man is related to whom? The options are G.H. Mead, Herbert Spencer, D.N. Modern, and Robert Park. And the correct option is D, that is Robert Park. This marginal man is a concept developed by Park to explain how an individual suspended between two cultural realities may struggle to establish his or her identity. The next question is, Looking Glass Cell Theory was conceptualized by, and the options are C.H. Cooley, G.H. Mead, Karl Marx, and Robert Heim. The correct option is A, that is C.H. Cooley. In the Looking Glass Self describes the process wherein individuals base their sense or self on how they believe others view them. And using social interaction as a type of mirror, people use the judgment they receive from others to measure their own worth, values, and behavior. And according to self symbol and societies, Cooley theory is notable because it suggests that self-concept is built not in solitude but rather within social setting. In this way, society and individuals are not separate but rather two complementary aspects of the same phenomena. The forms of social stratification is or are, the options are class system, caste system, and state system. And number D is all of the above. And the correct option is D, that is the forms of social stratification are all caste, class, and state. The next question is, Street Corner Society is the famous work of, options are L.A. Coser, Max Weber, William F. White, and B. Malinowski. And the correct option is C, that is William F. White. In his work, Street Corner Society, which is one of handful of work that can justifiably be called classic of sociological research because it has been modeled for urban ethnography for more than 50 years. And in this, William Whitewine accounts of the Italian American slum, which he calls as Cornerville. The Protestant Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism is the work by, the options are Auguste Comte, Herbert Spencer, Emile Durkheim, and Max Weber. The correct option is D, that is Max Weber. Weber, in this work, The Protestant Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism, he basically tried to study the relationship between the ethics of ascetic Protestantism and the emergence of the spirit of modern capitalism. And in this, Weber argues that the religious idea of groups such as the Calvinists play a role in creating the capitalistic spirit. Weber first observes a correlation between being Protestant and being involved in business, and declares his intent to explore religion as potential cause of the modern economic condition. And he also argues that the modern spirit of capitalism sees profit as an end in itself and pursuing profit as virtuous. Next question is, who came up with the concept of social Darwinism? The options are Charles Darwin, Herbert Spencer, Malinowski, and Marx. The correct option is B, Herbert Spencer. Social Darwinism is the theory that individuals, group, and people are subject to the same Darwinian law, natural selection, as plant and animal. Now largely discredited, social Darwinism was advocated by Herbert Spencer and others in the late 19th and 20th century, and was used to justify political conservatism, imperialism, and racism, and to discourage intervention and reforms. The concept of dominant caste is given by the options are A.R. Desai, M.N. Srinivas, Iravati Karve, and D.P. Murdoch, and the correct option is B, M.N. Srinivas. Anthropologists and sociologists have long emphasized the notion of a dominant caste to understand village life in India, and M.N. Srinivas first defined the term dominant caste to refer to the caste in the village which is numerically strong and also wields the greatest economic and political power. The next question is the famous work that is Kinship organization in India is associated to the options are number 1 Iravati Karve, B is K Indira, and Kingsley Davis and I.P. Desai. The correct option is A, Iravati Karve. In 1953, she undertakes a comparative analysis of 4 cultural zones with a view to trace out something like a regional pattern of social behavior. A region may show various local patterns. There are variation between caste because of hierarchy and caste-based isolation and separation. Iravati Karve also analyzed the process of acculturation and accommodation in the context of kinship. She has adopted a historical perspective covering a span of 3,000 years based on ethno sources and observation and folk literatures and other Sanskritic texts. Coming to the last question, that is, who developed a religion of humanity? And the options are given as G.H. Mead, C.H. Cooley, Aristotle, and Auguste Comte. The correct option is D, Auguste Comte. This religion of humanity is a secular religion which was founded by Comte for positivist society in order to fulfill the cohesive function once held by traditional worship. This Comte's religion of humanity is based upon morality and religion, and it is not upon a belief in a divine force. As because Comte was opposed to the theological type of religion, and according to him, God lives in the ignorance of man, and the object of worship should be mankind and not God. And the main slogan that Comtean religion propagate is, we should have religion but not God. With this, we have come to the end of today's MCQ, and for those who'd like to learn more, watch my other videos, and for more infos and updates related to sociology, like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.